Hey class, I'm back with another mentoring moment, and today I'm talking a career killer, complacency. If you feel a little disengaged, a little disconnected, if things are taking you longer than they usually take at work, or if you just feel bored and uninspired, this is a sign that you're approaching a career killer, and it's called complacency. And the truth is that you don't have to go above and beyond at work to do meaningful work, to do work that's inspiring, to do work that's impactful, but you absolutely cannot be complacent in your work, because complacency is a career killer, and it'll have you feeling disengaged, disconnected, and honestly bored and uninspired at work. And so I'm excited to talk to you about some signs of complacency, the danger of complacency, and some ways to get out of complacency in your career so that you can re-engage, reconnect, and do meaningful work in your career and in your industry. I'm Ashley. I'm a career strategist with Mentor Me, a professional development company founded by me for high-achieving professional women. And if you are new to my corner of the internet, welcome. I'm excited to talk to you about how to avoid complacency and actually find and elevate passion and connection and impact in your career. I founded Mentor Me a little over 3 years ago, and I have served hundreds of women, helping them earn more than $1 million in salary increases, raises, and promotions. I am committed to helping high-achieving women really advance their careers in the ways that they desire, and I'm excited to talk to you about how to avoid and eliminate complacency in your career so that you can do the kind of work that you desire. In today's conversation, I'm excited to really help you think strategically about your career development so that you can actually have the impact that you desire. And also, I want to share with you that I'm accepting new mentees. So if you are a professional woman who is excited about implementing strategy in your career development to advance beyond where you are right now, make more money, and just do more meaningful work in the world, then you are in the right place. I invite you to join me in mentorship through my Mentor Me Mastermind, which again, like I said, I'm accepting new mentees in right now. You can apply to that program and learn more right on my website at mentor-me.org. That's mentor-me.org. That's a great place for you to learn more about me, more about my approach to mentorship, and join my mentorship program, which I'm accepting new mentees in right now. Let's dive in to talk about complacency. So I first want to talk about signs of complacency, because I think that sometimes there's a rub between how do I know the difference between complacency and contentment, right? And I think that that's definitely something that we sometimes struggle with, right? How do I know the difference between, I'm just happy and I'm content at this stage in my career, and I'm complacent and I'm struggling and I'm disengaged and I'm unhappy at work. So let's talk about the difference, right? So complacency, a sign of complacency, the primary sign of complacency is disengagement, right? So you know that you're complacent at work. You know that you're not sort of committed to the work, that you're not inspired by the work anymore if you are disengaged, if you're disconnected to the work. If somebody asks you what's going on, what happened in the staff meeting today, what's going on with this or that project, you have no idea. You have no idea what's going on at work. You have no idea what's going on at with the major projects. You have no idea, where your team or your staff or, your colleagues are with major projects or, major initiatives. You're completely disengaged. You're completely disconnected from the work. That's a sign that you're complacent. Now, you could be content in your work. If you're content in your work, if you are happy in your work, that means that you're still engaged. That means that you're still connected, but it just might mean that you're not striving from the next position. You don't have plans to significantly advance. You're content in the work. That means you're still connected to the work. You're just content. You're happy. You're not struggling in the work. And that's a good thing. That's a good place to be. Content in your work is okay. Complacency in your work is a career killer. Right? Complacency, being disconnected, being disengaged, not really caring about the work, that's a career killer. Let me give you another example of complacency. So another example of complacency is that like regular work tasks take you forever to do, right? And I'll give you an example. Like, I think over the last like couple weeks, right, maybe like 4 to 6 weeks, I have been feeling a little complacent in my work. Like, I wasn't feeling super engaged. I wasn't feeling super connected. And I really enjoy my work. I'm an expert at my work. I'm very good at my job. I really enjoy the team that I work with. I really enjoy the work that we do. But I was kind of feeling like a little disconnected, just a little like a lack of engagement, like a lack of like sort of plugged into the work. And I knew immediately that I had to do something about that, because I know, of course, as a career coach, as a career strategist, as a person who helps hundreds of women with their career, I know the dangers of complacency. I know the dangers of not being engaged at work. And so as soon as I recognized that I wasn't connected, as soon as I recognized that I was disengaged, I was like, I need to seek out some new engagement opportunities. I need to seek out some professional development opportunities. I need to get replugged into the work. I actually applied for a leadership development opportunity with my international organization, and I got the opportunity. Super excited about that. And I'll be attending a professional development conference in November to kind of like focus on my area of focus in my industry, which is higher ed. And so I like that's a strategy for dealing with complacency. Like, if you're starting to feel complacent in your career, if you're starting to feel disconnected, it's important to have a strategy for re-engagement, because complacency kills. Complacency can ruin your career flat out. And so one of the things that I'm very committed to doing is to not get complacent in my career, to get reconnected, and for me, professional development is always a great way for me to get connected, right? And so I applied for this leadership opportunity. I got accepted into the leadership opportunity, and I'll be starting in that in November. And super just excited to like re-engage and reconnect. And my mentorship programs are an opportunity for you to do that, right? So if you feel disconnected at work, if you feel disengaged, if you feel like, hey, I'm not really like plugged into the work, everything's taking me a really long time to do, I feel disengaged, I feel disconnected, the Mentor Me Mastermind might be a great fit for you, because it is a professional development program that allows for high achieving professional women, mid-level women, senior level women to actually be in a cohort and be in a community of other high achieving professional women, and to have that community and connection to re-engage in your career. And so if you're feeling stuck in your career right now, if you're feeling disengaged, if you're not feeling connected, I definitely encourage you to apply to the Mentor Me Mastermind. It's a great opportunity for you to connect with other high achieving professional women. It's a great opportunity for you to just get reconnected with your career, because that connection absolutely matters. And when you are disconnected from your career, when you're feeling complacent in your career, when you're feeling disengaged from your career, what ends up happening, and this is something that I don't think a lot of women recognize, they don't recognize the danger of complacency. Because the danger, right, the danger of being complacent in your career is that other people notice. Right? And you don't think anybody's noticing. You think nobody's paying me attention. Don't nobody notice that I'm coming late to meetings. Nobody notices that I always have my camera off. Nobody notices that I don't have anything to say in the meetings. No one notices that my updates are always the same because I don't have anything going on. No one notices, right? You think that no one notices. You think that you're in the shadows. You think that you're coasting, right? You think you're coasting in this career. But the truth is that people are paying more attention to you than you recognize. Your boss, your supervisor, your colleagues, the customer, your client, your students, whatever industry you're in, people are paying attention. And whether you recognize it or not, your reputation is absolutely on the line. And when you start to fall to complacency, it can ruin your career. That disengagement, that disconnection, that lack of enthusiasm, that is a career killer. And we have to interrupt that. We have to interrupt that complacency. And like I said, one of the strategies to doing that, one of the strategies to implement to interrupting Complacency in your career is investing in yourself through professional development, because professional development reinvigorates you. Professional development holds you accountable. Professional development teaches you new things, new strategies, new connection points, new approaches to your work. And that's what my job is as a mentor, is to teach you how to sort of re-engage and reinvest and reconnect to your career so that complacency doesn't ruin your career. And the truth is that the danger of complacency is that other people can see it. The danger of complacency is that you're not having any impact. The clients, the customers, the students, the community that you always plan to impact in your career, the real meaningful work that you always plan to do, you're not able to do that in any real way anymore, because you have gotten complacent. You've gotten disconnected. You've gotten distracted in your career. Everything's taking you longer to do. You don't really care about the work anymore. You don't care about the client. You don't care about the consumer on the back end. You're kind of phoning it in, and that complacency is noticeable in your career. It has real impacts to your reputation and the way people see you and the way people think about you and your work. And you don't want that, right? Like, that's dangerous. If people are starting to see, oh, she really phoning it in. She's not taking this work seriously anymore. That starts to ruin your reputation. That starts to have people second guess you. It lessens the people who want to, say good things about your work. It lessens the people who want to signal boost your work and validate your work and invite you onto projects and to do good work, right? It can impact your reputation and your ability to earn more money over the course of your career. If you start getting mediocre, evaluations, if you start getting, the B+, you start being in the B+ category, B+ are not going to get you the raise, the salary increases that you desire over the course of your career. And anybody that knows anything about money knows that money compounds, right? Money compounds. So if you miss the annual bonus this year and then you miss it next year, not only is that you're missing out on that money year to year, but also you're missing out on those incremental increases as salary compounds year over year over year. And in this economy, with the way inflation is right now, you can't afford to miss any money, right? You can't afford to miss any raises, any salary increases, any merit increases, any bonuses, right? And so if you have fallen prey to being complacent in your career, this is your warning sign, right? This is your clarity call. This is your, hey sis, like over here. Like, this is a reminder that you need that complacency is a career killer. And before you fall deeper into a complacent state in your career, I want to invite you into mentorship. I'm accepting new mentees right now into my Mentor Me Mastermind, which is a 6-month executive coaching experience for mid-level and senior level professional women. The Mentor Me Mastermind is specifically designed for mid-level women. And when I say mid-level, I typically mean women with at least 3 years of experience, working experience in either their current industry or in an industry prior. So you need to have at least 3 years of experience to be a good fit for the mastermind. But more than that, you would be considered a mid-level professional, in my experience. And so for women who have that, at least 3 years of professional working experience or higher, and who are looking for strategic mentorship to elevate in their career. And elevation in your career can mean a lot of different things, right? So elevation for you right now, it might mean a higher level salary. For you, elevation might mean a higher level role. For you, elevation might mean more clarity and insight into the next stages in your career. Maybe for you, elevation just means a career development roadmap. Maybe for you, elevation means I want to be re-engaged and re-inspired and reconnected with my career in a meaningful way. I'm tired of kind of phoning it in. I'm tired of not being passionate about my work. I'm tired of feeling disconnected from my work. I actually want to get re-engaged with the work and the reason why I do this work. If that's where you are in your career right now, the Mentor Me Mastermind is going to be an absolute great fit for you. It's going to turn you away from complacency and reconnect you with your why. Reconnect you with the things that really matter for you in your career, and honestly reconnect you with your values. And that's the thing that I want to close on in our conversation today. One of the best things about working with me in mentorship is that my mentorship is value centered, right? And what that means, what value centered means, is that as a mentor, I'm only going to do things to help you advance your career and the ways in which it's aligned with your values, right? We're only going to focus on value-centered decision making. So let me give you an example. One of my top values in life is autonomy, the ability to have the flexibility and the space and the decision-making authority to sort of move how I want to in my life and my career. And when it comes to value-led career decisions, I'm of the mind that, I'm not going to say, well, what are your life values and what are your personal values and what are your career values? No. Our lives and our careers are not that separate, right? So many of us have lives and careers that intersect, right? And so we're not going to separate your life from your career and act like they're two separate things. We're going to combine them and we're going to say, what are your values? What are the things that are most important to you? And like I said, in this example, one of my top values, one of the things that's most important to me is autonomy, flexibility, being able to have a decision-making authority in my life. And so when I think about the ways in which that operationalizes in my career is that I would never take on a project at work where it was going to be dictated to me how it was going to go and what was going to happen and exactly how it was going to be. I would never do that. I would never take on a job where it was like, here's the template, do it exactly like this, right? Like I need flexibility in my work. I need autonomy. I need decision-making authority. Maybe for you, your value is wealth, right? Maybe for you at the top of the list, it's collecting a bag, right? And so I'm never going to advise you to make a decision in your career that's not aligned with your value of wealth, right? That doesn't mean that we strive for and we chase wealth at a reckless abandonment of everything else, but it does mean that we prioritize your wealth and wealth strategies in your career development, right? And I think that oftentimes when it comes to career, we're talking about passion and we're talking about purpose, and those things are fine and good to sell a planner or a journal or a mug. But what I want you to see and focus on is more of your values, right? Passion and purpose are often very fleeting. It's often very, well, I'm passionate about this, but next week you might be passionate about something else. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, you know that my husband and I recently purchased a house. I've been furniture shopping, it feels like for my entire life. And I'm trying to make decisions about furniture that are long-standing. I don't want to be like, well, I'm passionate about the color purple right now and buy a purple couch and then regret it in the future. I want to make decisions that are long-standing and that are going to be aligned with my values long term, right? And so for you, when it comes to mentoring you and coaching you and training you and developing strategies for you to advance your career, my recommendations, my approach to helping you in your career are going to be aligned with your values, which is going to have much more impact, long-term, successful impact for you, rather than focusing on passion or purpose or, some other kind of fleeting activity. I really want to help you advance your career in a way that's going to be long-standing. And so if that's the kind of mentorship that you would benefit from, if that's the kind of mentorship that you need at this stage in your career, if you're looking for a mentor who can help you, one, sort out what your values are, and then two, help develop a career strategy that's aligned with those values, then I'm the mentor for you. Again, I'm accepting new mentees right now into my Mentor Me Mastermind, which is a 6-month executive coaching experience for mid-level and senior level professional women. If that is the kind of support you need, I invite you into mentorship. You can go right to my website to schedule a call with me this week so that we can get you onboarded. That website is mentor-me.org. That's mentor-me.org. My calendar is open and available to you, and I'm excited to help you make some transformative decisions about your career. No longer are we stalling. No longer are we unsure. No longer are we second guessing ourselves. We're actually going to develop and then walk into a career development strategy that moves us away from complacency, a career killer, and actually moves us into full action in our career. I'm so excited to serve you. I'm so excited to get started, and I'm so excited to reconnect you to your career. This feeling of disengagement and disconnection and low impact, it doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to stay like that. And that's just not how work is, right? It isn't that's not a foregone conclusion of the world of work. Your work can be impactful and engaging and connected and connective, And we can strategize around that to build that just for you. Thanks so much for watching today's live. If this was supportive to you, make sure you schedule that call with me so that we can start to develop a career development plan that moves you away from complacency. And I'll talk to you on my next live. Thanks for watching. Bye.